Change is something that we all underestimate. There's both mental and physical challenges when you're being confronted with this idea of being in control of your own finances. It can be daunting. Are you in a position where you're making decisions alone? Those areas can include death, divorce, or even the next generation leaving the nest and thinking about how they're going to actually support themselves financially. Making financial decisions in that time can be quite daunting. That is why KODA has developed a paper about making decisions alone. The title of the paper being Staying Future Focused, a how-to guide for wealth after divorce or death of a loved one. The paper contains a guide to ultimately avoid some costly mistakes. You're dealing with change, and change is something that we all underestimate. There's both mental and physical challenges when you're being confronted with this idea of being in control of your own finances. It can be daunting. This paper takes you through a practical guide of all of the things you should consider when you're in that moment. In our experience, people go through stages of either fight, flight, or freeze. Most common in my experience is people like to stay busy. They like to flight. They like to look at the detail. They like to be busy making decisions and feeling like they're moving forward, but there's no structure to what they're doing. The flight response is to change everything without really assessing what the impact of that change will be. The other reaction is freeze, which ultimately means you don't do anything at all. That in itself is a risk. What the paper goes through is 3 stages of what you should consider at that point in time. So the first being the beginning and asking yourself, what do you value? At that point in time, it might be education for your children. It might be travel. It might just be the confidence of knowing that your wealth is safe, that you have someone you can talk to consider your options. The other question to ask is, where is your wealth? There are structures set up. So we recommend that you revisit all of the existing professional relationships that you have, accountants, financial advisors, and legal representation. In the environment where you are alone, it can be quite daunting. You're in a situation where you might not be thinking straight. You're doing things that might not be in your best interest, but you're not aware of it. You need someone to actually be looking over your shoulder, someone you can turn to, someone you can trust to give you a different perspective. And that in itself at that point is so valuable. The paper outlines a process that you can go through and the questions you can ask yourself, some of them being, who are you and what do you value? What are the assets that you have and what are the goals that you're trying to achieve? The objective of the paper is to ultimately give you confidence to move forward. The outcome we're all looking for is to make confident decisions so you can move forward trusting that you've considered all of your options, asked the right questions, and are focused on getting the right outcomes for yourself and for the people that you support.
Thank you for listening to At the Helm with Will Douglas. Be sure to subscribe to this channel on YouTube. You can connect with Will by visiting kodacapital.com. The preceding content is information only and based on information available when created. It is not an offer or solicitation, nor is it tax or legal advice. It does not consider your financial circumstances and objectives and may not be suitable for you.